This is Family in Focus with Dr. Wendy Schofer, episode number 110. Welcome to Family in Focus with Dr. Wendy Schofer. I am the pediatrician and certified health and life coach who specializes in helping you parent without all the food and body drama. Let's get busy creating the life you want to share with your whole family. Welcome back, my friends. I was tickled pink this week. I heard that there was someone listening to my podcast that I did not expect. You see, I've created Family in Focus and created the podcast around that, really to be able to connect with, I'm going to say you, but maybe it's not the full you as parents, okay? To be able to connect with parents, with adults, and to be able to offer tools that really work for addressing health from the inside out, first for us, and then being able to model and experiment and explore and to really be able to share with our family members. And then I learned this week from a friend of mine that her 12-year-old son is joining along with her to listen to the podcast. So I'd first like to say, hello there, my friend. It's good to have you here. And you made my day. I really appreciate hearing the feedback and hearing what's working for you. And you're blowing my mind right now in thinking about the ways that, once again, being vulnerable and honest about what we're going through as parents can really kind of help build that connection with teens, because we're all trying to work through it. We're all trying to do the best that we can, and it doesn't look pretty. And we just keep on coming back. And that's what we're talking about here. So one of the things that I wanted to share today was actually something that I would invite others to be able to share and listen with their children as well. Now, if you notice, some of my podcast episodes are marked explicit. I do believe in being the pediatrician with a sailor's mouth, but I try to keep that contained here. There are a couple episodes that you just need to be mindful for that. There's nothing like that here today. What I'd like to share is actually a submission that I made for the Teen Health 360 program at EVMS, which is the Eastern Virginia Medical School. And their mission, check this out, is empowering teens to make informed decisions about their relationships, health, and well-being. I totally agree with that mission. Okay, so they recently had an open call where they asked community members to answer a question. And the question was, what does a supportive relationship look like between an adult and a teen? Well, go figure that I answered the question from the perspective of what we as adults, parents, and community members can do to promote and create those relationships with teens. We have a really big role to play. And then I went to submit it, and then I realized that the question that they were asking was being posed more from the perspective of how to engage teens with creating supportive relationships with adults. So game on. I went back to the drawing board and I created another video that was basically why on earth teens would ever want to connect with adults. And I developed the concept of creating your own A-team, which not all the kids will get until they watch the video. Parents, you know exactly where I'm digging from here. So anyway, I share with you now both videos, and I invite you to take a listen, take a watch. Feel free to share with your teens. And I think that it's really important to share it from the perspective of exploring both sides of the relationship, which really involves trust, creating safe spaces, and being vulnerable on both sides. And I also think that viewing the videos for the, opposite, if you will, in our quotes, age group, helps share insight into, different perspectives. So enjoy and feel free, drop me a line, wendy@wendyschofermd.com. Here you go. Here's the submission that was created for teens. Teens, who's on your A-team? Hi, I'm Dr. Wendy Schofer, pediatrician and founder of Family in Focus. In a little cringeworthy moment, right now. Yeah, I'm going to admit, back in my day, when I was a teen, the A Team was all the rage. It was an 80s television show about a ragtag group of folks that came together and got the job done by supporting each other. While their goals were hopefully different than yours, like driving a 1979 Dodge van, the concept of the A Team has really stuck in my mind. We all need a support A team, a group of folks who support us, build us up, and have our backs. So, why do you need one? Well, let's admit it. It's really hard to be a teen. Yes, back in the 80s, but even harder today. No teen is immune from the challenges, and there's a special place for trusted adults to be of support. Adults are the ideal A team members because they're no longer in it. I mean, that's really a huge part of the advantage. They are one or maybe a couple steps out of being a teenager. And perhaps they can just take those few steps to be able to lend a hand and to walk with you through the challenges that you're facing right now. A supportive adult is safe, someone you feel that you can let down your guard with, be yourself, and speak your mind. A supportive adult offers stability. Ask yourself, who are those folks that are always there? Maybe kind of in the background. Consistency, presence. I think of how we need rocks in our lives, folks that we can count on because they help us form a stable foundation from which we can grow. And speaking about growth, let's admit something else. We are all growing and making mistakes. Supportive adults recognize that teens and themselves make mistakes. It's a part of the whole process of growing. So supportive adults can teach, mentor, share their mistakes, their perspectives, and help you become a stronger version of who you uniquely are. And supportive adults can be sought for their secret weapons. Maybe it's their skills in perspective taking, listening, and being a resource for when you need them most. That's what makes a true A team member. So, who can be on your A team of supportive adults? Sometimes the answers are obvious, like parents, aunts, uncles, teachers. Other times, we need to get a bit more curious about who are those supportive, consistent adults in our lives that we can turn to. Perhaps you have a neighbor, a nurse, a doctor, a coach, a counselor, a therapist, custodial staff. Get creative and get curious because they are there. So now you have your first mission. Draft your A team. The best way to know if someone is a good fit, it's going to take a little bit of bravery. You have to first let down your guard. Let them see the real you and invite them to your team. And here's the submission that was created specifically for adults. I'm Dr. Wendy Schofer, pediatrician and founder of Family in Focus. Something that I've learned in practice, as well as my own family, teens need trusted, supportive adults to help them thrive. So let's talk about what makes a supportive relationship between a teen and an adult. I have to admit, there's no one answer. Healthy, supportive relationships are kind of like our favorite recipes. There are a number of key ingredients that we want to remember. The first ingredient for a supportive relationship is safety. Safety is something that someone experiences when they feel that they can let their guard down and be themselves. Now, notice how there are times that we just don't feel like we can truly act or speak our truth because we are afraid of how others might respond or that we won't be accepted. So, how do we create safety? By inviting others to be as they are, to share what they are truly experiencing, and not tying their acceptance to a need to act or be a certain way or to change to earn that acceptance. The second ingredient is stability. We don't know how stable something is, quite honestly, until it's tested. Does it still stand? Is it still a safe place? Teens need adults to be present, to listen, to just be there as a solid, stabilizing force, more so than taking any action. We can't fix the strong winds of a storm, but we can be present and stable to weather it together. The third ingredient is nurturing. Think of a child who is learning to walk. They stumble, they fall, time and again, and yet adults, we trust the process of normal development and know that the kids are learning and will eventually succeed. Well, that applies to our teens as well. Supportive adults recognize that stumbling, messing up, is a part of the process of being a teen and offer support in the form of trusting that process. The stumble, the mistake, it's a lesson. Adults can offer teens trust that they are learning and growing through both their successes and their mistakes. This is learning and true growth as teens assume autonomy for their decisions and actions. When adults offer teens the key ingredients of nurturing, stable presence, and safety, supportive relationships can grow and thrive. Are you a healthcare professional? The continuing educational experience for the Family in Focus with Wendy Schofer, MD podcast is powered by CME-Fi. Head to the show notes for the link where you can reflect and earn credits for this episode. To hear more about Family in Focus and the programs that I offer, go to wendyschofermd.com, that's SCHOFER, and you can sign up to get free weekly content, tips, and also be the first to know about all of my upcoming group and individual coaching programs. I'll see you there. Remember, while Wendy Schofer is a physician and talks about health and wellness for the whole family, she is not your physician. This podcast is not providing medical advice and does not replace the relationship that you have with your personal physician.